We're down here at Korkers headquarters with Brian Cheney, the man himself, looking at some of these new products, kind of seeing what's going on behind Korkers. How long have you guys been here? Portland company, Oregon company?
Yeah, the company got started in Oregon, down in Grants Pass area, down in the late 50s actually.
Oh,
so
wow.
we were around a long time. We were one of the first companies to do traction-oriented products for fishermen. So it started as an overshoe company, and then in the early 2000s we started integrating the technology so that it was an interchangeable outsole system for wading boots. So we've taken the overshoe concept into boots, and that happened in the early 2000s.
And where'd you get your inspiration from? Was it from falling in the river so much and you needed to...
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to a point where the overshoes worked really well. They offered great traction, but it felt like there was two pieces of footwear kind of working against each other sometimes. So we wanted to figure out a way to streamline it, reduce some weight, and figure out a way to just make everything integrated, so it felt like it was one system instead of two. So that was kind of the idea behind when we started working on the wading boots.
And then you're here now, and something that really caught my eye when I first walked in was this boot right here. It looks kind of futuristic, kind of stormtrooper-ish, and what's going on with this boot?
Yeah, so this is our new hatchback, and March 1, so 2017, so brand new to the market. What's unique about it, other than its look, is that it's a rear entry system. So a lot of our customers, surprisingly, have a hard time getting into boots and getting out of boots, and so yeah, I might have a bigger gut. I'm getting there myself, but they also, may have like flexibility issues, and so bending over is difficult. So the idea behind this boot was how do we make it super easy to get on and off, and the hatchback is the first rear entry wading boot system. So essentially, you just pull the boa dial, and then the boot will open wide open.
Wow.
So you can see how it really opens up. So just slide your foot right in, and then once you have it, once you have your foot in there, you basically just push the dial closed, and you just crank the dial and get it to cinch up. One of the things that I like about it too, for people that have a hard time bending over, is that once you have it on your foot, you can, you're sitting down, you can basically just cross your legs and you can turn the dial, so you don't actually really have to bend over at all. So that's pretty nice for people that have those issues. What's cool about it also is just kind of from the look standpoint and design, we really beefed up, our what we call protected stitching. So we've created molds that have grooves in the molds. All the stitching is set inside of those grooves, so it gives it a nice.
That's where a hole right there.
Exactly. Like over the years, we've learned this is because it's the widest point of the boot, and you're jamming your foot in between rocks. That's a lot of times we'll see abrasion. So this protected stitching has been a really good feature for us.
That is really cool. I really like that.
And I think there's been a lot of anglers that have tried Korkers and had pretty good success, but maybe wanted to see a little bit more durability out of them, wanted to get a couple more years out of them. This we brought out in 2014 and has really increased the durability of the boots. Also, you can see kind of the Shin Guard approach to this boot. So there's a lot of protective features on the shin as well as on the toe, and then same protected stitching around the heel cap. So there's not a lot for this, a lot of areas where this boot can go wrong, because this is really the only exposed stitching, and it's up pretty high. We also use a really kind of beefy midsole. It's got what we like to call like 360 degrees of protection because it kind of bumps out. So again, when you're up against a rock, you'll be hitting the sidewall versus on the stitching on the upper of the boot, and that's also another big durability improvement that we've had. Yeah.
Then would you say this is kind of ankle support wise? Is this like a mid-range ankle support?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty supportive because these are all TPU molded parts, so you can see kind of these molded parts here, which are going to go right up on your sides of your ankle. So from a rigidity and kind of support side, it's going to be really nice. I would say that the idea for this boot was a little bit more for maybe a little less active. If someone's really scrambling up and down banks, we've got some other boots like our Dark Horse or our Devil's Canyon that might be a little bit better fit. But this is going to be real stable, solid in the river, especially for like guys steelhead and stuff like that. We also use what we call a flow foam fit. So inside of the boot, there's a foam package in there, kind of like a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Ooh,
so you slide your foot in, you dial this lace in, you crank it in, and your foot basically gets condensed around the foam. So it kind of basically matches the contour of your foot. So for a really nice fit. So from that perspective, it's another kind of unique feature of this boot. We also have the internal drainage system that we feature on all our boots, but inside of the boot there's some cutouts. I'm not sure if you can see those cutouts, but those cutouts basically lead to these holes. So So all of the water is flushing out the side. So as soon as you step down, you'll see water flush out. So
not having to your calves cramp up and carry an extra weight.
exactly. Yeah. So you're not sliding around water, and it's kind of a cool feature. But being at the very lowest point of the boot makes all the water escape.
Yeah, it drains to the lowest point. That makes sense.
Exactly. A lot of times, people put drainage holes up here. Well, the water goes down below it, so it's not actually draining out.
Sense. That's awesome. Then what you kind of offer a couple different traction soles for these. What would you suggest for the guys in the Northwest here and kind of the terrain?
Yeah, felt has always been kind of one of the standards. So we're doing a dark gray felt, and our boot packages usually always include either felt and rubber or rubber with studded rubber. Okay. So you can buy it 2 different ways. And we're supported here locally with Fisherman's Marine or Royal Treatment Fly Shop, so Fish Field, some other good accounts for us. So these are available now there. But in terms of the other options, I mean, I like studded felt personally. And I also have liked the bar system. It's worked pretty well for me. So it really just depends on what you like and where you're fishing. The studded rubber, aggressive studded rubber sole that we have with the 7mm carbide spikes really works well also.
That one looks pretty aggressive. I really like the look of that one. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did a trip as a group here in the office, and everyone went fishing, and we kind of went through all the different outsoles that we made, and that was unanimously the favorite on the Deschutes was the studded rubber sole. It's super aggressive and grips really well. So that's good.
And you're not tracking around microorganisms with the felt.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Very cool.
So, and then one thing that people have asked us for, because we took these off because we were having a hard time with our placement. Some people were saying it wasn't working with one wader system or another. So we kind of went back to putting gravel guard hooks back onto our boots.
Which
was surprisingly a feature that a lot of people really wanted. So we brought it back. So you'll see that on all of our newer boots.
That's awesome. Well, these look great. I'm super excited to see these out there and try them out. And you guys are always coming up with the newest, latest, greatest. And I heard you guys have some new things coming out soon. So
yeah, we've got some good promotions coming up, and we've got some new products that we're bringing to market. So this, like I said, this is our newest March 1 release date. We've got a few other irons in the fire, and as we go through the season, you'll probably see some other stuff coming out from us. So trying to always innovate and keep things fresh. So keep an eye out for Korkers.
Yeah, Korkers and their new hatchback, and go to your favorite retailer and check them out.